What if I told you there's a place in Pakistan even more breathtaking than Naran, but it's not as well known yet, so it's less chaotic, more peaceful, and a much better destination for your summer holiday. We packed our bags at 11:30 p.m. and began a brutal all-night drive not knowing what to expect. By sunrise, we were here. This is Kumrat Valley, a wild, untouched paradise in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and this is our 48-hour journey through it. Let's just say we weren't expecting what we were about to find. Right guys, it's been a while, but we're back. It is 12:30 a.m. I am all packed and the boys are on their way here to pick me up. We are ready to embark on a long journey towards a part of Pakistan that we haven't had the chance to explore yet. Kumrat is about 9 hours from Islamabad, from Thal and the winding mountain roads. So yes, the journey is a few hours longer than Naran, but Kumrat is remote, it's raw, it's not as heavily trafficked, and that's what makes him magical. And as always, the boys and I are driving through the night to avoid traffic since we can't really afford delays on such long journeys. Anyway, since I'm not driving, I plan on trying to lay down in the back seat and get some sleep. And I'm hoping the next time I open my eyes, it's somewhere deep in KPK.
Alright, it's early morning and we're closer to our first destination, Thal village. It's been a really long drive so far and you can only sit in the car for so long without wanting to have an elephant trample your back. So we've stopped to stretch for a bit, and as soon as I stepped out of the car I was hit with the immediate realization that we've entered a completely different world. We've left behind the big city and all the noise and the stress and traded it for this.
By this point, the boys and I were starving, so we decided to stop at the next breakfast place we saw. The only breakfast place we saw. Alright guys, it's time for some introductions. This is Usher. Hey. He came from Lahore to Islamabad and then drove all the way here to Thal village. So he's had a bit longer journey than the rest of us. This is Bilal.
Hey, what's up guys?
You don't get any speaking lines. Okay. So I think we found the only place that's open there for breakfast. It's not looking too ideal, but let's go check it out.
क्या है अभी? VIP नान में VIP में क्या है? अंडे
कहते हैं अंडा किसके ऊपर?
खाली अंडा नहीं है, फ्राई अंडा है ना। क्या करें यार, फिर नान है, नान के साथ
अंडा तो अजीब लगेगा जानी। देख ले
यार कोई घी नहीं है नान पे लगा के? नहीं यार, तुम पराठा नहीं दे रहे हमें।
हाँ वो कर लो, नान चने और चाय कर लो।
चने हैं ना?
हाँ तो चने करो, नान करो, चाय कर दो।
Alright, we've ordered some food. We don't know how it's gonna be. It's not looking too promising, but let's see.
No, it is promising because it's Kedi Artsachar.
We've had a good experience with that name in Skardu, but this is very different. Alright, this place is kind of what you expect when you're traveling in remote KPK, and we're used to them by now. So we got solicited.
ये कितने की हैं? 3000 की प्लेट है।
अच्छे वाला लकड़ी है ना।
No solicitation. Freshened up real quick and rolled the dice playing Russian roulette with our roadside restaurant meal. Alright. This is the vibe. Those actually look really nice.
They do.
This I'm not so sure. Pass okay? Yes. All right. We are in the main bazaar, Thal village, and we've just had breakfast. Now we need to link up with
The jeep driver.
the Jeep driver, which I think is completely ridiculous. As a nation, we've just decided to call all 4x4s Jeeps. Most of them are Toyotas. And this is where the real journey begins. We are all set to go. Our car is parked there and it's going to stay there for the rest of our stay. So it took us maybe 10-11 hours to get to Thal village comfortably, and from here I believe it's an hour, a little over an hour, hour and a half maybe, to Latitude Resort. So shouldn't be too bad. Now that we're loading onto the Jeep, it feels like the trip has finally begun. Until now we've been running on fumes, but as we prepared to head into the forest, the excitement had us feeling renewed.
वो जो पहले आया था वो तो सब कुछ तबाह कर गया था।
वो आप ज़ालावारी वाले की बात कर रहे हो?
जी।
वो तो
भाई
मेरी
इतना
गाड़ी भी
नुकसान हुआ।
यार हमने सब गाड़ी इसकी एक गाड़ी गई।
शाम को बहुत ठंड हुई, बहुत जबरदस्त मौसम।
सुबह गर्मी
इतना गर्मी नहीं है अभी।
हाँ बस धूप
अभी हम जंगल में चले। आप पहली बार आए?
हाँ हम तीनों पहली बार आ रहे हैं।
अच्छा, तकरीबन घंटा 1.5 घंटा लगेगा।
Yes, we were right. An hour, hour and a half maybe. And the real journey has begun now.
बस अभी कोई जल्दी नहीं, आराम से आते हैं।
Sex small, liberty Now at this point, you guys are probably wondering why we switched into a Jeep. You're wondering if your car could make it there. And the short answer is yes and no. Depends on your car. If you've got a 4x4 and you're an experienced driver, then sure. Anything less and you could damage your vehicle, and honestly it's just not worth it given the prices of cars in Pakistan. Unless you've got a 4x4 built for this, it's much easier to park at Thal village and get a Jeep ride to the forest where all the resort sites and activities are. Alright, so we're having to reverse into these tiny streets. There's not too much space here, and that genius is bringing his Kia along with him, or nothing.
गाड़ी नहीं जाएगी यार, नहीं जाएगी नीचे। आप ऐसा करो, इधर गाड़ी वापस करो। ठीक है, मेरा मशवरा ये है। इधर नजदीक एक पार्किंग है, उधर गाड़ी खड़ी कर दो। ठीक है, उधर से जीप मिलेगा आपको। ठीक है, किधर जाते हैं? मैंने लैटिट्यूड। हाँ हम भी वहीं
जा रहे हैं।
मिलेंगे आपको।
To be honest, so far the only reason not to bring your SUV that I'd seen was the narrow village, unpaved, bumpy streets. But that's not much of a deterrent to most people. And just as I started thinking, this isn't actually that bad, this happened. Alright, so we're changing Jeeps because we have to do a water crossing and they're not comfortable crossing the Jeep that we were in. And they want us to shift to another one, so we're carrying all of our stuff. This is the water, and that is the rest of the track over there. Which, to be honest, if I had the FJ, don't laugh. If I had the FJ, this was nothing. The question is, do you have the FJ? Unfortunately, no. Pooja? Right, this is our new Jeep. We've shifted all of our stuff here. Time to continue the journey. As we got deeper into the forest and closer to our destination, the views kept getting more and more spectacular, and it made me wonder, were we in store for something equally spectacular? I mean, it's no secret that we haven't been the biggest fans of traveling to destinations in KPK. Murree, the Galiad, Naran, Kagan, all the way to Babusa, they've all been rather disheartening experiences as a traveller. But as the journey continued, I felt hope that Kumrat Valley, more specifically the resort that invited us here, could finally break the KPK curse. As we made our way along the track, I couldn't help but think of the impact mass tourism would have on this region. Kumrat Valley is part of the Hindu Kush range. The Panchgora River runs through these ancient Himalayan cedar forests. The valley is home to rare snow leopards, black bears, markhor, yellow-throated marten, red fox and many more. But this ecosystem is fragile, and climate change is pushing it to the edge.
Now when you add a surge of obnoxious, illiterate, selfish tourists on top of that, then the only outcome is heaps of trash everywhere and another beautiful gem ruined. So I really hope that the locals there, they enforce heavy fines for littering and damaging the ecosystem. We did the same thing with Naran, we did the same thing with Geology, Murree, the Galiad, and like a bunch of other places. Remember, the goal is to keep a minimal footprint so that these places can be preserved, they remain beautiful for a longer time for other people to enjoy.
As the bumpy ride comes to an end, we get a glimpse of our destination.
Very nice. Cozy, you know?
Alright ladies, we have finally arrived at our destination after 13 hours on the road, and we've checked in. I've had a nice warm shower and I'm feeling a little bit fresh now, so let's go and have a quick tour of the resort. First impressions. Latitude Resort blends into the landscape. They've used local wood and other materials in their construction, and they run on a mix of solar energy and generators. You can find all the amenities and luxuries of modern life apart from one, a TV. The goal here was to help people connect with nature, and I think, at least from what I've seen so far, Latitude seems to have achieved that goal. I mean, there are hammocks for you to relax in, spots all along the property to sit and listen to the sounds of nature. They've got lots of activities here as well, but we'll get into those in a bit. What I'm absolutely loving about this place is that they haven't overdone it. They could have built 30 more huts and glams here, and it probably would have made them way more money during the season. But they've spaced apart all the rooms just enough to give everyone their own private section of forest. So yes, we know that there are other guests here, but it still feels like it's just us in nature. And this is the first time I've seen one of these glamping resorts do things sensibly. I mean, the layout of the property, the rooms, the organization of the staff, it's all just exceeded my expectations. I do have some questions, but we'll get into those later.
I needed a break. That's why we came here. That was the only reason. I've been up for more than 24 hours right now. As you can tell from my face, I'm exhausted. We're all exhausted. And man, I have to tell you, Asher is the perfect guy, alright. He's like a very good companion. But he keeps his windows down. He listens, but then he lowers them down again. First it's like this much, then the whole window's down like all over again.
By this point, our bodies were beyond exhausted and our minds were running on fumes. So it was time to wind down, get some snacks going and enjoy our first evening in this forest.
This tent here is called the Forest what?
Hideout.
Forest Hideout. It's actually quite nice. As you can see, the boys have made themselves a home already. They've got a nice bed. Is it comfortable?
Yeah, it is.
It's comfortable.
This is quite
Okay. The sheets are warm, the blankets are warm, the pillows are nice. Pillows are nice.
Definitely not the place for the boys.
It's not a place for the boys. It's a place for your significant other. But unfortunately, this is what we have.
Hello. अभी मुझे क्या कहते हैं 2 पकोड़े और 3 कप चाय करवाने थे.
पकौड़ा कौन सा करना है सर? मिक्स पकौड़ा या पोटैटो पकौड़ा?
पटाटो पकोड़ा कर दें आप.
दो आपके पोटैटो पकौड़ा है और एक चिकन पकौड़ा.
एक चिकन पकोड़ा है, एक पोटैटो पकोड़ा है और 3 जो है चाय पीती और साथ में चीनी.
20 से 25 मिनट में आपको सर्व कर देंगे.
इतने मजे. अच्छा वो भी सब बोले पोटैटो चिप्स आएंगे पकौड़े.
You think we're joking, but it actually says potato pakora.
पटोटो. भाई मैंने चीनी नहीं लेनी है. मैंने चीनी लेनी नहीं है. ये इसको सुला दे भाई अभी से. इसका दिमाग खराब हो गया. साला चीनी किसी और के कप में डाल के अपने कप में डाल रहा है. इन्होंने चिकन को फ्राई कर दिया.
हाँ तो चिकन पकौड़ा और क्या था? मैं तो वैसे ही कहा था चिकन पकौड़ा.
उस्ताद मजे का. मेरी वाली चिकन ठीक है. आई एम हैप्पी.
चाय पाव हो गया.
पटोटो.
रास्ते में एक बॉय तो समझ नहीं आ रही थी, सोया हुआ है जाग रहा है. कुछ देर लेटता था और फिर उठ के कहता था सुसु आ गया है मुझे. और दूसरे ने गाने लगाए हुए थे ड्रेक के जो मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद. मैंने सुना है कि मेरे बारे में कुछ बातें हुई हैं कि जी खिड़की नीचे करके चलाता है गाड़ी. तो खिड़की सिर्फ मैंने नीचे नहीं की हुई थी, सबने नीचे की हुई थी. These two guys, they have some activities planned, but I've been traveling since yesterday. First I traveled from Lahore to Islamabad and then I drove for 8 hours from Islamabad till here. Now I'm planning to convince them to postpone our activities to tomorrow because I am tired as
Alright, Asha was right. We didn't really need much convincing. We were in no condition to do any activities tonight. So we decided to sit outside surrounded by these gigantic trees.
ठीक है. अब मैं उसको बोलूँगा नहीं मैं तेरे साथ हूँ. ठीक है. तो यार मैं जो अब 15 मिनट
जल्दी खत्म कर. मैंने जाना.
अब तू सोच. मैं तुझे बताऊँ सही किया था. ठीक है. ये बाथरूम है सामने. मैं अंदर जाने वाला था, उसने मुझे रोका है. ठीक है. 15 मिनट यूँ खड़ा होके ना वो बाथरूम भी देख रहा हूँ. पहले 2 बंदे गए हैं. ठीक है. वो निकले हैं अंदर. मैं जो देख रहा हूँ ये बाथरूम पहले का.
सर आपने से क्या था भाईजान, मैं आपकी ना बात से एग्री करता हूँ और मैं मुझे आप बस 2-3 मिनट दे.
As our conversation went on, we shared stories from our travels back and forth. Of course, it wouldn't have been right to do all that without the age-old tradition of lighting a fire. Minutes turned to hours, and our huge pile of firewood would soon be nothing but ash. And we would retreat into our tent, calling it a night, eager for what the morning awaits.
Yes, brother. आप हमारे पास आ गए. Alright guys, it's the end of the night. We saved all the activities for tomorrow because we're too exhausted, but we're still having a bonfire. It's been a great experience so far, but we're exhausted, so
हो जाएगा यहाँ से.
see you guys tomorrow. Boys, नाश्ते के लिए उठ जाए, नाश्ता मिस हो जाएगा फिर हमारा। Good morning, guys. I have had a lovely sleep, just had a shower, woken up, and I'm feeling very, very refreshed today. And I cannot begin to describe how amazing it feels to be waking up to the sounds of these birds and the river. And we've got some fun things planned for today, but first things first, just waiting for the boys to get out of the shower, and then we're going to go and have some breakfast.
Boys निकल रहे हैं नाश्ते के लिए.
This morning felt like something out of a movie. As we made our way through the forest to the riverside for breakfast, we couldn't help but notice how picturesque it all looked. This place is a vibe. It's day 2 in Kumrat Valley, and this resort is still surpassing all my expectations. I don't know what I was picturing in my mind for this trip, but it certainly wasn't as good as this. Outdoorsy glamping resorts like these in Pakistan are rarely as good as advertised. Every time I've been to one, I've had some very strong opinions. There's always something lacking, or they're doing something in a way that shows blatant disrespect for nature. But so far, I'm surprised to say, I'm actually impressed. Breakfast today, we've got eggs, parathas and chai. Definitely a step up from yesterday. Oh, and by the way, breakfast is complimentary here. And here at the Khanabadosh Boys, we're firm believers in everything tastes better when it's free.
Alright, so this is quite interesting. It reminds me a bit of Lake Tahoe, this place. But essentially what they've got here is a breakfast buffet. So they put eggs and potato and chai. And then they've got like these 2 spots to chill at. So obviously we chose the one with nobody there because we don't really like people. But the view is exceptional.
Good.
हम रियल स्किनी डिपिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे.
भाई वो तो शायद शर्ट उतारने
वो शर्ट उतारने में बोलेंगे कि
अभी शो चल रहा है भाई. यहाँ पे ना पानी का फ्लो थोड़ा कम. डुबकी लगानी है.
ये कम नहीं है, ये लग रहा है कि कम है. ये शैलो है यहाँ पे.
शैलो है ना, इसमें खड़े हो सकते हो आप. डुबकी लगाते हैं. गेम ये सेट करते हैं आर्चरी में, जिसने सबसे अच्छा स्कोर मारा वो बच गया.
ऊपर सेट करके
जिसने सबसे गंदा किया वो पानी में.
जिसने सबसे अच्छा स्कोर किया वो पानी में.
Just as we were wrapping up breakfast to begin our fun activities planned for today, we got a surprise visit from the CEO of Latitude Resort. This presented us with a unique opportunity to get some answers to questions that had been bothering me for a while. You see, I needed to get to the bottom of some important things, like where does all the sewage go? Does it just flow into the river? What about the trash? I mean, I want to believe that this place had sustainability as a major focus when they were building it, but that just hasn't been the case for most of the places like this that we've visited in Pakistan. Could Latitude Resort be leading the charge in sustainable tourism? But before I could get into the questions, we got another surprise from Kumrat Valley. Yes, it started to hail in the middle of summer. The weather here has been simply amazing.
उस वजह से फिर हम उनको अपना बेस
मतलब म्यूनसिपल वालों के पास कोई प्रॉपर तरीका नहीं है और क्या कहते हैं जो कहते हैं बाथरूम वेस्ट होता है सीवेज वगैरह
प्रॉपर डिस्पोज हो रहा है नहीं प्रॉपर ग्राउंड के अंदर जा रहा है मतलब सोकेज पिट्स बनी हुई है
अच्छा
जो पुराने दौर में जो एक सिस्टम होता था ना घरों में
सही है
तो वो अभी तो सीवेज लाइंस हैं और वो जाके कहीं ना कहीं पानी में फेंक देते हैं अल्टीमेटली बट पहले गाँव में ये होता था कि खड्डा बनता था उसकी एक चुनाई होती थी और वो ज़मीन में सारा एब्जॉर्ब होता है जो ड्राई वेस्ट होता है इसका वो बैक्टीरिया कंज्यूम कर जाता है और जो पानी होता है लिक्विड वेस्ट होता है वो ज़मीन में तो जब हम यहाँ पे लास्ट मतलब 3 years पहले आए थे तो देयर वाज नथिंग इस जंगल में खानाबदोश ने कच्चा थोड़ा सा स्टार्ट किया हुआ था हम थे तो इट वाज लाइक चैलेंजिंग सो कि जी यहाँ पे तो फैमिली कुमराट फैमिलीज आती ही नहीं थी कोई जगह नहीं थी
इन्वेस्टमेंट की बहुत
इट वाज बट वी न्यू
पिछले साल तक तो किसी को सही से पता भी नहीं था कुमराट का
बट वी न्यू कि ये
चलेगा
एपिटाइट है लोगों में इधर आने की एपिटाइट है
पोटेंशियल होता है
और सिर्फ वही
आपने क्या किया इलेक्ट्रिसिटी का
रात को हम जनरेटर होते हैं दिन को
नहीं आती है
उधर लोग पीछे करके लगाया हुआ है
अच्छा अच्छा
हाँ,
तो ये
अच्छा जो कल ही रात में लाइटें बंद हुई थी इसलिए
वो सोलर पे होते हैं ना तो बैटरी से खत्म हो जाती हैं तो फिर शिफ्ट करते हैं तो कल रात को बस
हम तो बड़ा खुश हो गए थे हमने बोला कि शायद इसी बात पे गए थे कि हम फैन हो जाएंगे फुल अंधेरा हो गया हमने बोला ओए ओए ओए
अच्छा बड़ा मजा आया
मजा आया हम तो खुश हो गए हमने बोला चलो पूरी रात यही हो
क्योंकि हम कह रहे थे अभी ना ड्रोनी स्टोरी सुनते हैं कोई जंक्शन वाली चीजें लगाते हैं
नहीं इधर कुछ भी नहीं है जहाँ पे ये आप लोग रह रहे हैं इधर हमारी हाइट से ऊंचा ऊंचा घास और पौधे थे सो वो हमें टेंट्स को लोकेट करने के लिए ना हम डंडे पकड़ के खड़े होते थे कि कहाँ इनकी अलाइनमेंट आपस में कैसे करनी है सो इट वाज दिस काइंड ऑफ अ जंगल यहाँ पे रूम था जी ये दरख्त निकला हुआ है सो हमने आपको उस तरफ भी काफ़ी सारे नजर आएंगे जिनमें रूम्स के बीच में से दरख्त जा रहे हैं so this entire resort was made without cutting a single tree not even a single tree was cut peak mid June से लेके mid August
ठीक है बेस्ट टाइम वही है आने का या
नहीं बेस्ट टाइम इज बिफोर और आफ्टर दैट
अभी
उसमें एक तो हमारे डेट्स भी ड्रॉप हुए होते हैं और रश कम होता है सो यू एंजॉय बहुत अच्छे हैं हमारे पास जो आते हैं ना जी एक तो उनमें डिज़ायर टू कनेक्ट विद नेचर होती है बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव टीवीज वी डोंट हैव इंटरनेट हमने खुद बंद कराए हैं सो वो दे रेडी फॉर दिस एक्सपीरियंस दे कम प्रिपेयर्ड फिर हम उनको पहले दिन से ना प्रिपेयर करना शुरू करते हैं जैसे कनेक्ट होंगे उनको हम साथ साथ मैसेजिंग शुरू कर देते हैं उनको बताते हैं जी कोई वाईफाई नहीं है कोई इंटरनेट नहीं है यू प्योरली कमिंग टू कनेक्ट विद नेचर कॉल हो तो उस पर उनको बताते हैं सो वो जितने भी आते हैं ना आपको नजर आएगा गंद भी नहीं कर रहे वो ऐसे हालांकि शहर में बैठे होते पिंडी इस्लामाबाद में भी बैठे होते ये सही है सारे वो लोग हैं बट इधर खा के इधर फेंक देंगे वो करेंगे यहाँ पे आपको नजर आएगा कि देर नॉट डूइंग
नहीं अल्लाह का शुक्र है भाई
तो हमें जो दो सबसे ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स मिलते हैं ना जी एक तो ये क्लीनलीनेस वाला है तो उसमें
मैं वही नोटिस कर रहा था काफी साफ सुथरा है और आपने सबसे मुझे अच्छी चीज ये है ट्रैश कैंस है
और फिर वापस जाके मोस्ट कॉमन फीडबैक इसके 3-4 दिन तक ना वो कहते हैं हमारे जहन से निकल ही नहीं रहा वी लिविंग इन इट आप वापस आ गए हैं बट वी लिविंग इन इट वो हमें फील जा ही नहीं रही उसकी
उनसे बोले कोई मसला नहीं दोबारा आ जाए
Alright guys, we just have some breakfast. We had a conversation with the CEO and it started to rain. We had a bit of hail. So the weather's looking really nice. The rain just stopped, so we're gonna explore the area a bit more.
The valley is near the Kalasha regions of Chitral. The Kalash, a pagan tribe, believe that these mountains are sacred, and Kumrat is part of their seasonal migration paths. The locals in Kumrat speak a mix of Khowar and Pashto. For most of their history, life was slow. The stories here, they're old. You can feel the history in these mountains. But today, tourism here is changing things rapidly. On one hand, the emerging hospitality industry here is providing a livelihood to many people. On the other, it's leaving the door open for an ecological disaster. But there is hope. Latitude has proven that a sustainable model is possible here. Now, the question remains, will the other resorts and locals follow in their footsteps, or will they put their greed and profit before the preservation of these lands?
कल का दिन था बहुत थकावट वाला, आज का दिन है सेक्सी। सुबह हमने नाश्ता किया है विद अ बिट ऑफ अ हिल स्टॉर्म बिसाइड्स द रिवर, और आफ्टर दैट उसके बाद हमने की है साइकिलिंग। अभी एज यू कैन हियर स्लाइट ड्रिजल गोइंग ऑन, सो वेरी सेक्सी वेदर एंड या वी गोना एंजॉय द रेस्ट ऑफ द डे।
So far, in a short period of time, we've experienced almost every weather in Kumrat, from clear skies and sunny days to hailstorms and cloudy skies. And now we get to experience this downpour. Rainy Kumrat is by far my favorite. It reminds me of Oregon, but way older. We're in an ancient forest surrounded by mountains that were formed over 50 million years ago during the collision of the Indian and Eurasian plates. This is a place that demands attention. It demands respect. This is exactly the kind of place to visit when you want an escape from reality. But it does make me wonder, how will climate change affect this region? Due to rising temperatures, glaciers are melting faster than ever, and Kumrat is experiencing more frequent floods. Pine forests are slowly receding due to illegal logging and changing rainfall. It's hard to predict what the future holds for this incredible place. But for the present, this is exactly where we need to be.
Here's the deal. We've got 4 arrows. We're each gonna get like 4 turns. The best grouping wins, the worst one goes in the river. मेरे पानी में कौन जाने वाला है? समझ गए?
हाँ, किधर गया?
पानी में जा रहा है।
This is Usher. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am safe. Not bad. This guy, on the other hand, is fucked. Very bad.
Look at the state of these arrows.
He's starting to make excuses already.
They're no excuses.
We didn't complain about the fucking arrows.
Look at the state of the arrows.
This guy already knows the arrows are fucked.
I'm used to high quality bows.
If you have noticed something, this guy has his glasses on as well now.
My nickname is Robin Hood.
This is the last throw. And it's in. So,
Victor,
this guy is fucked.
Victor,
First,
loser.
third, second and alive.
Alright, so Usher lost clearly, but he doesn't want to go in the river, so we gave him a chance of redemption. And we're gonna use the air guns. We've got 4 shots each, and if he loses again, then he's definitely going in the river. But if he wins this one, then he might not. That's his last one. And he's failed. 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4 for the both of us. If he doesn't get 2, he's going in the river. One more. Dead center. 1 out of 4 for all 3 of us. So he's going in the river.
It was now time to head back to our glen. This is the kind of place you come to just chill, and we've done exactly that. It has been such a fun day, and nothing could make this day better. Well, nothing except maybe some chai pakora.
मसाला इसके ऊपर डालें। जरूरत ही नहीं है। ये बार बार जाता है कि बैंड जी ऐसी ज़ुबान इस्तेमाल करेंगे आधी ज़्यादा वीडियो क्रॉप हो रही है। एडिट करते हुए ना पहले मैंने कहा यार अब मैं गालियों का क्या करूं, ठीक है। अच्छा अब बॉयज है निकलती हैं भी, ठीक है। अब एडिट करते हुए ना मैं बोलूं, पहले अगर मैंने छोड़ दी गालियां तो फिर तो लोग मीटर हो जाएंगे कि ये तो फैमिली शो है, ठीक है। फिर मैंने कहा फैमिली शो खत्म कर देते हैं। मेरे ना वो अब हम अजीब बीच की सीन चल रहा है, फिर मैंने बीच में बीप करना शुरू कर दिया। अब मैं लोगों का बड़ा मसला हुआ यार, तू अब खुद सोच के टूट 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 चली जा रही है, ठीक है। तो वो फिर ज्यादा बुरा लगता है।
उससे पहले ये करता था कि ये जो है ना उर्दू वाली से म्यूट करना शुरू कर दिया।
अब मैंने ये किया, मैं सिर्फ उर्दू वाली गालियां करता हूँ क्योंकि वो
बोलते हैं
उसमें थोड़ा तड़का ज्यादा है।
अंग्रेजी की गालियां तुम लोग वक वक बोल रहे हो और बाकी
यार बात ये कि इंग्लिश वाली गालियां नहीं लगती ना, ये इनमें तड़का ज्यादा है।
तड़का इनमें ही तड़का है।
As the sun went down, the forest started to go quieter. The sounds of the birds and the insects silenced, leaving just the roar of the river and the sounds of thunder echoing through the valley. The day was coming to a close. It's our final night in Kumrat, but we're not done just yet.
This has been an incredible trip so far. Honestly, this place beat our expectations by a mile. I'd say this is the kind of place you want to bring your family or your significant other. And when I entered this place, I had a feeling that we might not need to leave the resort, and so far that's been the case. Honestly, I was quite impressed by their sustainable practices. So we're definitely going to be back here, but for now, this is the end of our trip. This is the end of the journey, so if you want to stick around, subscribe to our channel and follow us on all the major social media platforms, and we'll see you in the next one.
ये काउंट नहीं करती बाय द वे, ये वो भी सही नहीं था और ये एरो भी सही नहीं था।
स्टिल मेरे लिए भी खराब ही देना, मैं इसलिए मेरे लिए कौन सा पिच परफेक्ट था वो।
तूने इसको हरा दिया, ये मैंने एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था, लेकिन फिर इसने वो बॉम्ब ड्रॉप कर दिया कि मैं नजर नहीं आता मुझे इस आंख से। ठीक है, तू उस आंख से मार नहीं रहा था, फिर दूसरी आंख से मारता।